Okay, hey, well, thank you, everybody. First, it's important for me to ask you this question. How many people voted for Donald Trump in 2020?
Yeah.
All right, I'm in the right place. I'm very early. My name is Jeff Brandt, and Montgomery Township resident, legislative district number 16. My role is to inspire everyone to embrace their conservative principles, embrace freedom, and to communicate that and project that to those around them. And in doing so, support our efforts as a group, as a team, to take back our state from these crazies. And you heard Mike, I think Senator Doherty talked about it. Those people are crazy. They're crazy. And don't make any bones about it. The establishment GOP is kind of a little wacky as well. And we're starting to learn that. We gave you a little bit of a picture about that. And we're new to this. We've got a campaign manager, we've got a treasurer, we've got a marketing person, we've got a web person. Some of them are here today. So we got some feet on the ground and some backbone. But a little bit about me. I'm a father of three. I raised my three kids mostly in Montgomery Township, going through the high school system. All of them are college graduates. I was involved in the Scouts in 2010. Myself and three other fathers were on a Scout over the camp out. We were all carping about Obama, passing Obamacare. This major piece of legislation went through lame duck session in Congress. Not a single GOP vote. Not a single GOP vote. And it turned our healthcare system upside down. That's not going to keep a country together when you act like that. But that's what they did. That's what got me interested in the conservative movement. From there, the three of us formed the Montgomery Tea Party. Senator Doherty was a speaker actually in the Fair Schools funding years ago. And more recently, during our annual summer event, he spoke again in our event. And Victoria was there as well. Thank you, Victoria, for doing this. So we had a lot of experience in talking to conservatives, dealing with conservatives, and in fact, if we hadn't been part of this Tea Party and conservative union, I don't think I would know any of you. That's how we all got connected. That's how we know each other. So that's a little bit about me. I do want to let you know that you are looking at your non-establishment candidate. What that means is like what Donald Trump had to go through. You have to not only do your job and fight against the other side of the left, you have to do your job and fight against even your own party. We're literally competing and butting heads over simple things with the establishment Republicans. So that's what we're doing now. And I'm an engineer, I'm a businessman. That means an engineer, I know how things work. No BS on that. Businessman, I know money, I know how to get things done, I know how to manage. That's the person I am. But getting back to Donald Trump. 4 years. We had 4 years. Wasn't that wonderful?
Yep.
You woke up in the morning, you could feel prosperity. You could taste freedom. You could smell liberty. Every day, the sun was always brighter. Even if it was raining, who cared? Things were getting taken care of. The left was on their heels constantly. The press was on their heels. They were challenged constantly. What that guy did for us is unbelievable. But that's why we're here today. We're here to take the taste of that freedom and build upon it. Look at the model. Non-establishment. President Trump, non-establishment. That's the model. Freedom, liberty, that's the model. Those are the people we need to be part of our team, and the message we need to project, freedom and liberty, to begin to take back our state and our country. Those are the keys. Now, I'm going to talk about a few things, 4 things, I guess, about how I feel about the world, our platform. If you've heard this before, hopefully you talk out better since last time, but it's faith, family, freedom, and truth. Faith, family, freedom, truth. 4 very simple things in life. If you can get a grasp of those 4 things and understand what they are and live them, I think you'll have a very fulfilling life. If you miss one of them or 2 of them, things are going to be a little rocky. Faith, family, freedom, truth. Faith, family, freedom. 3 words that really mean our United States Constitution. Faith, family, and freedom was what this Constitution was built upon. And the Constitution was designed. Our founders knew what would happen if we didn't have a Constitution designed to protect us from the very government we created to serve us. And look what's happened now. That government is turning against us, right? In many, many, many small ways. So, faith, family, freedom, and truth, and just revert my notes for a moment. So to talk about, so freedom, the concept of freedom has been talked about a lot, but I don't think a lot of people understand. We talk about our school systems, the learning that kids are getting, it's really not learning, it's indoctrination. Learning about our country, not really learning about our country to appreciate it, they're learning about our country to hate it. So freedom is not really taught in school. People say the Pledge of Allegiance, people don't really know what it means. But freedom, give you an example, personal experience. I'm at a technical seminar. There's 150 or 200 techies, engineers, or whatever, and it's a seminar on renewable energy. Renewable energy. You see the little solar panels on the power poles in parts of New Jersey and PSCG territory for expensive forms of energy. We're talking about this solar energy. We're going to have to buy this solar energy. Don't care how much it costs. We're going to have to buy this wind energy in New Jersey. We're going to have to buy this landfill gas energy. And you have to, so I raised my hand and say, wait a minute. I'm a consumer. Don't I get the freedom to choose? I want to pay more for solar because I want to save the earth, I think. And I don't want to pay for solar because I don't really think it's going to matter that much. So I just want just regular, plain vanilla grid energy. No, can't do it. You got to do it. You got to do it this way. I say, well, where's the freedom in that? The attendee to my left alerts out, oh, what's freedom anyway? Pregnant pause. 150, 200 people. Nobody's saying a word. I turn to them and I say, you'll know when it's gone. 10 minutes later, that gentleman got up and left. After the program, some old timers from PSG came down and thanked me. They feel the same way. Feel the same way. So freedom and the concept of freedom isn't going too good in our country these days. People don't really understand it. And that's a bad thing. And that's something as patriots and as conservatives, we're going to need to deal with. If people don't understand freedom, that's the common bond that we all have, left, right, middle. It's common bond. So that's faith, family, freedom. Now let's talk about truth. Truth can be very difficult for people to deal with. Very, very difficult. The problem with truth is it's hard to tell the truth many times. You have a spouse, whatever, you lie to your spouse or white lie, who cares? But if you lie to your spouse about something important, you'll find that you will resent your spouse because of that lie you created. If you keep lying to your spouse, over time, you'll justify lying to that person because they're a bad person, they deserve that it's okay to lie to them. You have to justify it somehow. The only way to justify it is they're a bad person. A psychologist will tell you if you've got marriage and you're lying to your spouse, you better fix it fast because it's going down. Lying destroys families. Lying destroys friendships. Lying destroys countries. The left loves to lie, right? They believe if you lie, it's easy because we are going to get to our goal faster. You know, it's for your own good. You know, ends justifies the means, whatever. But the amount of lying we deal with every day, and I don't watch the news anymore, I'm sick of it, but mainstream news media, which is effectively propaganda arm and they lie all the time. Politicians, except these guys, lie all the time. Hollywood lies. Left lies. They must really hate us. They really lie so much for so long, decades. A lot of our kids in school, they really hate us. They do. They do hate us. And the establishment GOP is not much better. Not much better. You know what they think of us? Everybody here, we're the people that produce wealth. We're the people that keep this country running. We're wingmen. You know, a little childish. You know, don't quite get it. Hey, you know, come on, you're one of us, I guess. You know, here's the voting machine, go vote, you know. Don't worry about what happens afterwards. Go home, relax, get everything all rigged up good, we'll take care of it. That's what they think of us.
Yep.
I'm not happy about that. You're not happy about that. How many people are happy about that? Lying and deception is the root of all evil. Lying and deception is the root of all evil. It is. There's a hell of a lot of evil in our country right now. We're going to put an end to it.
Oh my God, there's so much.
Opposite day. Opposite day. It's kind of a form of lying. You played that game as a kid. You know, opposite day. The left plays opposite day all the time. When the left loves something, whatever, the COVID bailout bill, that's great. Green New Deal, that's great. When the left loves something, watch out, it's bad. When the left hates something, that's good. The left really, really, really hated Donald Trump. You know why the left really, really hated Donald Trump?
They could,
Why?
they couldn't buy him.
Couldn't buy him, okay. How about truth? He told the truth. His inauguration speech was, I'm going to return the power to you, the people. You, the people. They hate that. They don't want to lose power. And they don't want anybody to know that they've stolen power in the first place.
Right.
They hated Donald Trump. They hated him. They caricatured him to be somebody he was not because they hated what he stood for. We stand for what he stood for. We supported him because of what he stood for. You know how they feel about us? They hate us even more. You tell somebody you're a Trump supporter, cancel. I know I can say it here. We're with friends. So let's talk about what happens when the system crashes. We had a very successful night, Wednesday night, with the Middlesex Screening Committee. I got to sit through an hour and a half or 2 hours of, well, you were there as well, 2.5 hours of people talking about policy issues. Nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. This state is in trouble. You don't know it because it's brewing. These guys up here know it. $9.9 billion of a credit line for Goldman Sachs, secured by homeowners, additional property tax. $4.5 billion of it's already drawn down. But don't worry, we're flush with cash. Your budget's great. This is trouble. When it crashes, it's going to happen so fast, you're not going to know what hit you. Do you remember the credit crunch in 2008? Everything was fine until one day it wasn't. That's how things fail. And nobody's watching the story, and that's what's going to happen in this state. Gas tax got bumped up, right? Almost 10 cents a gallon. We're up to over 50 cents a gallon. The federal government takes 18 cents a gallon. Do you know how much the oil companies make? About 2 cents. But they're the evil, greedy corporation. No. Opposite day. You politicians are the evil, greedy tyrants that are stealing from us. The opposite day of these people. The inclusion bill passed, this past week, I guess?
On Monday,
Governor signed it, right?
we signed it as well.
Signed it as well. The LGBT bill. Now, LGBTQ curriculum is going to be promulgated through the 565 municipalities to adopt them. He went around the Department of Education with the legislature, and they pushed this bill through. The Department of Education, my letters from Victoria, by the way, did not authorize or approve this, but it went around anyway because some tiny percentage of our population is offended. The LGBT folks. Yeah. Maybe it's 1%. They say it's 5%, whatever. You play with the metrics, you get whatever answer you want. But thankfully, parents have a say in this. And by the way, parents have a right and in fact an obligation for educating their children. We just happen to take that right and pass it to the local school district to teach our kids on our behalf. Is there anybody here in this room that would want their children in kindergarten to learn the ABCs of the LGBTQ ideology? Anybody here? Raise your hand. Don't be shy. No. Thankfully, this bill has a carve-out that says you can teach this in the appropriate place. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no and never will be an appropriate place to teach LGBTQ. And not a cent of our government money should go to pay for what is literally the corruption of the innocence of our children. Not a cent. So our school system. If you talk to teachers, you'll find out from teachers that school kids today do not have the skills for critical thinking. They cannot have an argument with rational, reasoned ideas and concepts. Have you ever had an argument with a leftist? Anybody have an argument with a leftist? You have? Anybody else? How'd it go? How'd it go? They think they're embarrassing? Okay.
Yelling.
Was there any reasoning, any rationale?
No, there is none.
I think there was.
In their head. Well, the argument with the leftist is really not an argument. It's really, you're dealing with them rationally and reasonably, and they're giving you talking points, what they've been indoctrinated to say. If you talk to a kid out of high school and you try to have an argument with them, reason, rational argument, you'll hear talking points. Our school systems are teaching our kids not to think, but what to think. That's got to stop. In the process, they're not teaching their kids about freedom. I can't tell you how many times in the Montgomery Tea Party booth, young men and women come up to our booth and I say, hey, by the way, is America a democracy? Say, oh, yeah, democracy. Can you recite the Pledge of Allegiance for me?
Yeah.
And they get to the Republic. They don't even know that our country is a representative republic. That's how bad our school systems are. Do you think they know about freedom? No, they don't know about freedom. So the programmed indoctrination has to stop in our schools. Pat's on the school board. Thank you for your service, Pat. Good luck with that. I'm going to talk about energy. My career has been spent in energy. I know more about energy than you ever care to hear. If you want to be put to sleep at night, you need to call and talk about energy. Put you right out. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about energy today. Energy is the fundamental of a civilized society. It's a fundamental of a civilized society. Without energy, readily available, cheap, reliable energy, cannot have a civilized society. Our governor signed the Clean Energy Act, or Clean Energy Act in 2018. 2019, we got the New Jersey Energy Master Plan. Pathway to 2050. 30 years. In 30 years, we will have 100% clean energy, clean electricity in New Jersey. In 10 years, we're going to have 50% clean electricity in New Jersey. In 2035, you won't be able to sell a gasoline-powered car in New Jersey. It has to be electric. Think about that. They're telling us what cars we can sell in New Jersey and therefore have to buy. They're telling us what energy we have to buy. Forget how much it's going to cost, don't worry. And you can expect in the next 10 years, your electricity rates are double. Right now, about 40% of your electricity bill is taxes and regulatory fees. There's no difference between a regulatory fee and a tax. We both have the same thing. They modify your pocketbook by taking money out of it. They modify your behavior by changing your usage patterns because it's so expensive. Fossil fuels. No more fossil fuel cars, but what about your gas stove in your house? You like your gas stove? How many women love the gas stove, or men if you grew up love gas? We have a gas stove, right? Easy to control. Gas hot water heater. Plenty of hot water. All right. Gas furnace, turn it on, the house heats up right away. Gone. 2030, you won't be able to buy those appliances in New Jersey. If you want it, you got to go to Pennsylvania. You buy a new house in New Jersey. To adhere to the energy codes, they'll have all electric appliances. Heat pump, hot water. You don't get a lot of hot water out of a heat pump. You're going to have to schedule who's taking a shower, when, and how long they could be in that shower. It's going to take time to recharge the tank. It takes a long time. Heat pump heater for your home. It takes a long time to heat your house up. In fact, so long you don't ever turn the heat down in your house. You can never get it back up again.
Jeffrey, we only have 5 more minutes because the room has to be switched on and
Sure.
at 3:50. So can you tell everybody how we can help you to maybe ask for some?
I'm getting to that.
Very good.
All right. And my last point about energy is without cheap and expensive energy, there is no prosperity. And without prosperity, there is no freedom. So this bill, or this energy plan, and the regulations it is following is important for you to follow. So my proposal is, and my campaign manager is drafting this now, a bill entitled Truth in Legislation and Regulation. My campaign manager is working on it now. It's going to require all pertinent aspects of proposed legislation throughout every stage of its progression, through committees, to the floors, to the governor's desk, to have a plain English abstract that clearly and completely describes its content. Regulations will have a similar path through their procedure, through their processes. We're going to have to move our rallies and education programs from parks, church basements, or homes to the State House. We will be present in the corridors outside of committee hearings. We'll be present in the galleries, in the Senate hearing rooms, in the state hearing, in the Assembly hearing rooms. We're gonna make our presence known and make eye contact with our legislators and speak to them and buttonhole them when we can. Our cause will not be successful unless we work as a team. The question we have to ask ourselves, if we conservatives don't run for office, who will? Establishments and leftists. And if we conservatives don't make our presence known to those conservatives that we've gotten into office, how can those of us that are elected possibly succeed? Ladies and gentlemen, for me to succeed, we need each other now, like we've never needed each other in the past 10 years, and we're gonna keep needing each other. We need each other to get elected, we need each other once we're elected, to keep our team together, and to work as a team, to support each other to succeed. And I ask your support. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless America.
So listen, there's, you brought some donation forms, right? That, donation forms or
We
no?
have,
So-
our website is on the
On the
forms in the
flyers.
back, and there's a donation window there.
There's also donation forms for Doherty and Peterson. So again, the reason why Doherty said he couldn't run for governor is because no one ever supports him. The only people that give him financial support are his constituents, not the life,